You won't be able to produce a lot of writing during the 30 minutes you have for this assignment. But if you organize and prepare according to the Kaplan method, you'll produce a first draft strong enough to get you a solid score. Let's take a look at the Kaplan method for analytical writing. Steps 1 through 3 can be thought of as think before you write. You won't start typing until you've spent 8 minutes on these steps. In step 1, take apart the argument. Spend about 2 minutes thinking about the prompt. Identify its conclusion and evidence. Find several assumptions and flaws in reasoning that the author makes to lead from the evidence to the conclusion. Step 2, select the points you'll make. Spend about 5 minutes brainstorming what additional evidence, if true, would weaken or strengthen the assumptions in the argument. Note any flaws in the author's reasoning that would have to be remedied to support the conclusion. You don't need to include every single point that you brainstormed. Just include the strongest points. For step 3, take a minute to organize the results of your brainstorming exercise. Prioritize. Select the points that are most compelling or most important. Make sure you include how the author's conclusion can be supported. Step 4, take 20 minutes to type your essay. Even if you type slowly at 20 words per minute, that's still 400 words. That's plenty of time to write a terrific essay. Finally, step 5. You have 2 minutes left to proofread your work. Take this opportunity to clean up your work. You can't rewrite everything, but you can make some specific edits that make your work better. It's noticeable when you haven't bothered to proofread. A sloppy essay can prevent a grader from granting you a higher score. Let's take a look at how to organize your essay using the Kaplan template. In the first paragraph, put the argument into your own words. This shows the grader that you understand the argument. Analyze the argument effectively in 3 sentences. Your first sentence should paraphrase and identify the conclusion. The second sentence paraphrases the supporting evidence. Your third sentence will state explicitly that the argument as written is flawed, inadequate, unpersuasive, and not compelling. In paragraph 2, you're going to point out one flaw in the author's reasoning. Then you'll elaborate and expand upon the problematic nature of the assumption. Paragraph 3 is more of the same. Explore another assumption that you consider problematic. Assumptions are problematic because they're either unwarranted or implausible. You may need additional paragraphs for any additional assumptions you discuss. In each of these paragraphs, you can bring up theoretical additional evidence to drive home your points. This evidence would undermine the assumptions and weaken the conclusion in the argument. Your second to last paragraph explores ways the author could have better crafted the argument. Show how the author can strengthen his argument. Describe evidence that could make the conclusion more likely to be true. The highest scoring essays not only tear the author's argument apart, but also show how the argument could be remedied to support the conclusion. Finally, make sure your concluding paragraph restates your original assertion that the argument as stated is not convincing. This final paragraph can be as short as 1 or 2 sentences. Remember to remind the grader that your analysis above has not actually repaired the argument. By remembering the Kaplan method, you won't struggle on test day asking yourself, what do I need to do? The method gives you an efficient way to complete the essay section. And being efficient helps not only with the essay section itself, but also with the next sections of the test. You want to stay alert and focused the entire time, so follow our methods and you'll be able to do just that.